I'm Jake Winkleman, and I'm at the big boy table today.
And I'm Michele Spiller, and I really miss AJ.
I'm Hannah Broxmeyer, and I got this week's Around Campus.
Hi, I'm Sean McCollum, and we've actually got sports.
I'm Mavis Scheffler with your weekend forecast.
Good morning, Mepham. Today is day 5. Please rise and join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The big news of the week is the return of high school sports. After a long delay caused by the coronavirus, high-risk high school sports have returned with practices beginning this past Wednesday and with games set to return early next week. For more on the return of the high-risk sports, here is BMB sports reporter Sean McQuillan.
Thanks, Jake. And yes, sports are back. Practices for basketball, wrestling, kickline, and cheer began on Wednesday. With one gym dedicated to cafeteria use because of the coronavirus, scheduling practices will run late into the night. This week's snow days have also played havoc with the schedule, as all teams are required to have 6 practices prior to season play, so the first games have been pushed back to Wednesday. As if that wasn't enough, this Sunday is the Super Bowl, pitting the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs against the Buccaneers and Tom Brady as he plays in his 10th Super Bowl. Tune in on CBS at 6:30 p.m. to watch a showdown for the ages. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sean. Lots of sports news indeed. Sean, what kind of precautions is the district taking to keep all athletes safe with the sports returning?
Well, that's a good question, Michele. The district has put into place a lot of restrictions and precautions. Athletes will be tested once per week. A positive test will result in quarantines possibly for entire teams, depending on contact tracing. Spectators in the gyms will be limited to 2 per athlete. Masks, however, at this point will be optional for players during gameplay.
Lots of restrictions indeed. That said, it is exciting to have sports back in the building.
Absolutely, Jake. And sports aren't the only thing finding a way to make success during the pandemic. The Calhoun and Mepham Orchestra, under the direction of our very own Miss Shum, has been performing virtually and posting all the results for everyone to see. Just last week, we at BMB debuted the orchestra's virtual performance of ABBA's Dancing Queen on the most recent episode of Talkin' Cookies. And now the orchestra is already back with their tribute to Star Wars, which you can be seen, you guessed it, on the BMB YouTube.
I'm looking forward to checking that out, Michele. Normally, I'd probably be interviewing someone from the orchestra on Around Campus, but with AJ being out, I'm here with you. Feel better, AJ. So sitting in for me on Around Campus is our very own Hannah Broxmeyer. Let's see who she has with her on this week's Around Campus.
I'm Hannah Broxmeyer, and this week on Around Campus, I'm sitting down with We Mean Green Club President and co-founder, Emily Rosenberg. So welcome, Emily.
Thanks for having me.
So, Emily, We Mean Green is relatively new to Mepham. What is it, and how did it get started?
So We Mean Green is our school's environmental club. It started when the original founder and original president, Artina, came to me and was like, do you think people would be interested in starting an environmental club? And I was like, of course, why wouldn't they?
I completely agree. I think many people should get involved. So, with so many people wearing disposable masks, one thing I've heard that is suggested is that people cut the strings off the masks before throwing them out. What are other tips for people who want to recycle?
Well, definitely the first thing that people should do is buy less. You know, you shouldn't go out there and buy something reusable when you still have something that could still be reused again. But, you know, once that first item needs to be replaced, you should definitely consider buying reusable, like buying a reusable straw or a reusable water bottle, etc.
I completely agree. So what fundraisers are you doing now?
So currently we're doing the phone case drive, which is where you bring in your old phone cases, and we send them, and then they are made into new phone cases so then they can be reused. And we are doing a t-shirt drive with our logo, and it's basically to raise money for an organization that we'll decide later. And yeah.
That's really interesting. So what's planned for the future?
So we definitely want to continue doing drives and fundraisers, but we definitely want to do our beach cleanup, which we were originally supposed to do in the beginning of the year, but unfortunately got too cold. But I definitely know that people are still interested in that, and I'm really excited to do that hopefully in like May.
I think that'll have a great turnout. So can people still join?
Oh, totally. Just come to me or another member, and we can give you the Google Classroom code, and you can come and join.
That sounds really nice. So what are some ways people in school can get involved with recycling and environmental activities?
Well, you can join our club, or you can also just participate in any cleanups or drives that other clubs are having too. I know that the Leo's Club collects bottle caps and water bottles, like plastic water bottles, and you should definitely contribute to them too. And then in general, just remain environmentally aware of your impact.
Definitely. So thank you so much for joining us today, Emily. It's so wonderful to see students taking initiative in their community. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Hannah. She looked good over there.
Don't get too comfortable over there, Hannah. You can have that spot next year.
Jake, February is Black History Month, and in honor of Black History Month, we'll share and learn about various Black leaders that you may not have heard of in your classes. We'll speak to you about each of their experiences and achievements. Althea Gibson was the first African American to win a tennis Grand Slam title, the French Championships, in 1952. The following year, she won both the Wimbledon and the U.S. Nationals, then won both again in 1958. Then she was voted the Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press in both years. In all, she won 11 Grand Slam tournaments, 5 single tournaments, 5 double tournaments, and 1 mixed doubles title. Gibson was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame and the International Women's Sports Hall of Fame. Miss Gibson was often described as one of the world's most greatest players who ever lived. This month, we recognize Miss Gibson and many others for their achievements and contributions to society.
That's amazing. A life well lived, full of accomplishment. Now here's Ava Scheffler with our weekend forecast.
Good morning, Mepham. I'm Ava Chef cooking up a storm here with your weekend forecast. I hope you are all enjoying your super short school week thanks to those 2 snow days. The snow just did not stop falling. Even when you thought it was over, you were like, oh, it's snowing again. But now for our weekend weather, today is supposed to be partly cloudy with some possible rain showers here and there. Saturday is looking your average sunny February day with lower temperatures. And Sunday is supposed to be similar to today with cloudier skies and more of a chance of rain that may or may not turn into some snow flurries. I get to use my favorite weather term I never get to use. Watch out for some Sunday snow squalls. Yes, I am a meteorologist, and you can't ask me what that means. That's it for this weekend's weather, Mepham, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Ava. Now for today's quote of the day. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm.
These have been the BMB morning announcements for Friday, February 5th. Welcome to the third quarter, Mepham.
Have a great day, Mepham. Now you can high-five me. There we go. See, AJ? He's nice to me.